talk about a very interesting topic, and it's called the rights issue. So sometimes people ask me, what is rights issue? So in order to answer this question well, I will have to tell them that rights issue is very simple. It's just printing money. This company, he can print more money. So what does that mean? It means that if he needs money, if this company needs money, he can do this rights issue. So then at what price, you may ask? Usually for rights issue, the company will have to offer a very special price that is below the market price. So if let's say XYZ current market price is 10 ringgit, so then in order to attract the existing shareholder to purchase the shares, they will have to offer a very attractive price, saying that, okay, now existing shareholders, you can purchase our company shares at maybe 8 ringgit. Okay, so then they will have to give a very attractive price for them. So how they calculate the price is actually through there's a way of calculating the price, which is from the past 5 working days, and then they use an average calculation to calculate. What happened after this rights issues? So there's share dilution happening. So when a company issue too many shares, share dilution will happen. So what does share dilution mean? So that means originally you have this amount of number of shares outstanding. Okay, let's say 10,000. Then you decided to have a rights issue, 1-for-1 rights issue. So if you have 1 mother share, you can allow to purchase 1 additional shares. So that means what? That means this company is actually enlarging his existing number of shares from 10,000 to 20,000. So when you have enlarged your number of shares, what do you think will be your share price? In theory, your share price will be half, because your number of shares is doubled, so your share price is half. So this is called share dilution. So therefore, when you have a rights issue, you have a share dilution, and then this share dilution may be good or may not be good. It may be good is because now the share perceived is much cheaper now. So people will think that, oh, originally it's 10 ringgit, now it's 5 ringgit. So people thought that it's much cheaper, but in fact it's because of this share exercise behind it. Okay, and another thing about advantage about rights issue is that the company doesn't have to go through the bank to borrow money, and then they can raise funds from the existing shareholder. So it's actually good for the company itself. And of course, the company, if they have to issue more shares, that means they will have to pay out more dividends also, because there are more shareholders now. And how do we calculate the pricing of the rights issue? So the following are the ways that we can calculate. Okay.
A public listed company may raise its funds either through borrowings or by issuing new shares to existing shareholders. The issuance of ordinary shares to existing shareholders is called rights issues. In rights issues, each shareholder is issued 1 right for every share owned. This gives the shareholders an option to buy a specified number of new shares from the firm at a specified price, which is usually below the market price. However, this purchase can only be made within a specified time, after which the rights will expire. For instance, if a company announced a 1-for-2 rights issue, this means the shareholder will be entitled to 1 new share for every 2 shares he or she is already holding. The table is an example of an investor who owns 1,000 shares in a company called ABC. If the shareholder does not want to subscribe to the rights issues, these can be traded over the counter for money. But how much exactly does a right cost? Usually, this depends on a few factors: the market price of the stock, the subscription price of the rights, and lastly the demand and supply of the rights in the market. Now let's look at an example of a shareholder of company W who owns 1,000 shares of stock just before the 1-for-1 rights issue. Initially, the price of W is 1 ringgit. So the shareholder who owns 1,000 shares of stock has a total holding worth 1,000 times 1 ringgit, which accounts to 1,000 ringgit. So when W announces a 1-for-1 rights issue, the shareholder who already owns 1,000 shares will be given 1,000 rights to purchase 1,000 shares at 50 cents each. The cost of these rights is 1,000 times 50 cents, which accounts to 500 ringgit. If all the shareholders of W exercise their rights, the share price of W drops to 75 cents per share, which is 1,500 ringgit divided by 2,000 shares. The difference between the old share price of 1 ringgit and the new share price of 75 cents is the value of one right, that is 25 cents.